Hello and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 3 and Black Ice version 11.3.2 and the Soviet Union campaign, where we have captured a relatively large pocket. Now, I'm sorry that you've missed the closing of this, but to be honest with you, it was just kind of a straight dash kind of towards here to get this closed up. We've now flexed over to a more defensive stance, to be completely honest with you. We're going to clean up the troops in here. Then we're going to prepare for early 1944, when we're going to launch a relatively large proper incursion into Germany proper. We're going to kind of ignore, I think, moving into like the Balkans immediately. We're going to just concentrate on getting into Germany first, and then we'll look at other things kind of along the way. But overall, things going very well. Italy is currently slowly but surely being taken over, which is good. And as I say, we are pushing, and I've taken a head count of the units that we've caught in here, and it's the better part of 2 million men. Now, Germany, I think, on the front altogether had about 6 million. So we're taking out effectively 1/3 of their entire army, or at least the German units. Now, you know, a lot of these units were belonging to other nations and things, so not quite the same. And then we are also beginning a bit of a minor counterattack in the Far East, because most of these units are now in a position where they can do that. They can begin that counterattack push. And yeah, there's some units all kind of surrounded here that we can use to kind of push in, retake this river position. But and we are defending some hills from a little bit of a combined attack over here. But I would say that we're doing fairly well at defending it. Now, there are a lot of units and things that we need to kind of hold on, but overall, not too bad. So, and the key aim is just going to be to kind of hold. Oh, look, the Africa Corps got caught. But yeah, the question becomes, can we move up our units in such a way and really clean this out quite quickly? Because I don't think it will take that much to do it. If we can get them in place. So the 16th, so that's relatively quick. Now they're attempting a form of counterattack. Now, a lot of these units were already struggling for supply. And being trapped where they are, don't think that's going to improve anytime soon. So 43 level, we'll let that one roll. I can see self-sealing tanks and armor plating to do as well. Now, we've really built up quite the large little force here. Just want to make sure that we don't get any awkward breaks or problems with our units. Over here. Because I see an opportunity to kind of cut the neck over here. Units. Well, there we go. The first kind of inroad being made, which is good. Okay, yeah. And push in there. Good. We're making some headway. Counter-attacking in a couple of spots. 7 units in reserve, all of them weak. Let's move them up. And let's take flatly half of you there. And the other half here. And let's take you you in there, and let's take you down there. Let's start cutting the head off the snake. See another counterattack coming in here. Now, what I do want to happen is, I do want our units to kind of win and get themselves sorted. Like, these constant minor attacks should be easy victories. And especially when it comes to additional... So that one's not so good. Right, when are you going to attack? We'll get in 19th. Yeah, that's fine. Right, and they're going for it. They're launching some sort of an attack. Okay, and it looks like we've got the first couple of divisions dealt with. Yep, so that's a loss of a lot of Italian units. You go over there. Please. I'm fed up with waiting for them to move. We've got to reinforce this. Can't let them break through. Same thing with that unit there. See that we're getting our units in. Good, no chance. And that should be enough to now hold these in place. And then let's keep on moving you down. And let's now push in with some infantry into that location, just to now start to clean up this. There's still a fair amount of combat effectiveness in some areas of the front, so let's be a little bit careful. I think I'm about to see another kind of relatively large encirclement happen in this region. So when we look at infrastructure, yeah, so that's all broken up there. So some more units being dealt with. Let's get you into position. Start attacking. Got a 1-for-1 parity there. And we found a unit with some organisation. It's taken a while, but we found one. A lot of our units have very much struggled. Does look like Gorov's going to manage to win this one. It'll have taken him a while, but it does look like he's going to pull it off. This is a difficult battle over here. Yeah, I feel like we do need to move our air force and things over soon, now that we're in some new fronts. You know, having some decent air bases does fill us with a little bit of hope. How goes this push here? Still not great. So Steiner and Paulus are waiting in the wings there. Now in Sandhorsk, it's time to lend a hand. There's one pretty large panzer unit, but it does look like it's struggling a little bit against our units, which is good. Let's get this infantry and keep it moving up. Moving in quite nicely. 6 there. We're going to take some of our less battered units and we're going to move them up north. And we're going to take them into this unit here. There we go. That lets us ford the river, and it means that I can hold back these infantry in reserve and get them over into this marshland here. Okay, so we've got a decent victory here. And yeah, let's support the flanks. Good. What I want to see is we're then going to launch a counterattack into this province here, and then hopefully up and around to deal with these units in this part of the world. Right, armor placing. So we are at 103, so I'm going to need to get a little bit of tech kind of taken off and put into officers relatively soon-ish. Divide and conquer is what the name of the game over here. Okay, good. I see them in position. Okay, and a nice 50-50 split there. Oh. I've got a Wehrmacht division of tattered remnants that's going to try and attack. Good on them. Okay, so all of these units are playing whack-a-mole. Right, there goes the autumn mud. That one Panzer division is a thorn in our side. Jungle unit training. 42. Now, we're not really dealing with any jungles at the moment, but hey, the game's been pretty stable so far. Maybe there'll be a point at which we will be dealing with them if we want to go deal with Japan. And any of the island redoubts, or like India or anything like that. Got a whole 13 units trapped in the south there. Okay, that one's not fun. Let's move these over and let's get some tanks and get them into position. see Federico is, well, he's inspiring the ire, let's say, of some less than stellar gentlemen. Perfect, so we've now got a decent little flanking position here, and well, there's an opportunity here to get some more units, and I feel like we should give it a go, because these units, a lot of them have organization. And I'm going to take our tank forces and kind of bring them into the plains over here. And then I'm going to bring a lot of you kind of over, and then you're going to go there. And we're going to leave behind 3 of you. And yeah, we're going to launch one last little attack to try and surround Brest-Litovsk. Panzer divisions that we can move north. So we've got 21 divisions there caught. Plus another 13, so that's 34. And then at least another, well, so 23. So up to 24. 25 and 13, so 38 units. That is not bad. Let's kick in the whole bloody rotten door. Okay, good. Hoping I see a general kind of victory coming along here. Pallas has been a mighty foe in his little battle here. I see him holding us in place. And Federenzio has his back up against the wall. Literally. Now got an encirclement bonus. That will help deal with them a little bit quicker. No chance of any reinforcement by the looks of it for a lot of these units. A couple of them have a little bit of organization, but not much. And we're slowly liquidating those panzers down there as well. Get in over here, that would be great. And then we want to do some sort of encirclement operation over there as well. But we won't worry about that right now. Consider that later. And we need 223 apparently to kind of extrapolate onwards, but we'll get round to that. Okay, so that's 16. Looks like we're going to liquidate this pocket before the other one. Ah, giving it a go. The 5th Panzer Division is caught and holding out admirably. Can we counterattack there and get a victory? We can. Good. So, I'm going to move up you. So our fast units are going to move up, but our slower infantry are going to stay behind. And then you're going to move there, and you're going to move there. Right, any organisation? Yeah, a little bit on these ones. Hold off on both of those battles. Don't need to rush them. Just need to provide a little bit of background defense where we can. Push on in, and then up and around. Just let the hammer blow come, you know, come on through. They are really trying to get this sorted. Lacking would be true as well. I'm going to move you to attack there. You're going to lend a hand and some assistance there. I see a bit of a general retreat going on now. Okay, there goes Great Patriotic War. Apparently we've done enough to redeem the motherland. Units arrayed against kind of 5, with most of them not being proper combat units. Should do us some good. Right. Now, any chance of you fine gentlemen being able to push just a little bit more? We just want to surround Rastenburg. That's all we want to do. Donnie isn't one of our better commanders, but hey, look, he's learned through experience. That. Garrison, boom. So in we head, in we trot. Okay, and we've already caused pretty substantial casualties. In they trot. Can you break the back of these units here? And based on that, the answer would appear to be a firm yes. Though with a little bit of difficulty, must be said. Right, in we push. So there's a major concentration here, 16 divisions. So that's no joke. something. Panzergruppe. Oh good, that's what I wanted to see. Just a little tiny encirclement. Good, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Fedorenko. Well, we're going to take all the armor actually. So forget the motorized units. Let's take armored units and wing them south. We don't need much of a victory. We just need what we can get our hands on. Some shattered Wehrmacht divisions trying to hold up. Okay, and oh, look at that. The AI struggling a little bit. So Shumilov gonna hold that. Now I can see another little possible encirclement going on here. That into there, we're going to go with you into here, go with you into there, and you're going to try and attack this. And the rest of these units are also going to head in this direction. And yeah, with the fall of that Sandhorsk area, we like that. See that we're compressing the front on here very easily now. And we are launching this counterattack. Okay, so we're going to take all of these units that are a little bit less battered. And we're going to launch an immediate attack here. We're going to try and get ourselves another little encirclement, if we can. Boom. That's good. That's what I want to see. Okay, and then how are we doing here? Allenstein. That's not too bad. I've just realised we need to set the sliders again, actually. God, I haven't done that. We need to be a little bit more balanced, I think, now than we were previously. I've always wondered if they actually do anything, that slider in this. So, good chance to check. Victory that's coming to us. Hey, good. Now, you can see that Panzer unit there looks a little bit broken down. And the Rastenburg, the Wolf's Lair, is going to be taken. Balkan's about to take this area. Perfect. So they've only really got now one way of getting out, and that's kind of to try and move through this area here. Because everywhere else is pretty much covered now. So now we are forcing them broadly kind of back. mean, there's way more than that in here. There's a lot of units in here. This is like unit central. Let's take some of these tanks and motorized units and bring them down one, just to help lend a hand. Now goes the encirclement one here. So we've got 8 units, and some decent German divisions, to be completely frank. That's not bad. Fedorenko is now a max level 9 skilled commander, which is pretty unbelievable. Timoshenko and Fedorenko, both extremely high level. Not bad. I'm not even sure where there he is. So yeah, max skill there. I see for Valor, Order of Lenin. Yeah, Timoshenko's got it all going on. All the medals. I'm seeing supply issues is what I'm seeing. For fuck's sake. Right, and I want to see kind of further positive movements in this part of the world. Let's go. So, militia, not worried about. A few of those units. Yeah, definitely. What about you? Yep, Zhukov. Put it on the pressure, that's good. Now, I am thinking every little help I can get with supply would be good, and we've got commanders now that are higher level than the ones we have back there that might do a better job of supplying our units. As much as I don't want to say that, because these guys have been very effective on the front lines, maybe we could move some people about. Possibly. Alright, so we're at 101. And yeah, I kind of feel like we need to take some stuff off. So let's have a little look at what we are doing. So like, yeah, all of these. We've definitely got those command ones up a little bit. Let's finish those for a second. Chuck it in officers. Do a better job of holding that off. Okay, one Schwer Panzer Division, which we're being used to hold that in place with. Okay, good. Right, half of you. Oh, there's some supply issues, aren't there? That must be said. But we can take fully half of these units, move them that way, and then take the other half. Whoever knew that these units would be so powerful, eh? Finnenberg. Isn't he a naval commander? No, he's not. Just getting my wires crossed. You're tapping into there. You're slowly making headway, but it's definitely slow. As are you. Take some of these guys into the rear areas as well. And the moment that they get supply, they're going to get involved. Just want to break down kind of the major units. Finish Rastenburg off, and then hold it back for later. Generally moving across all of these units. So how many have we caught here? So 17 divisions. Captured Soviet artillery is actually one of the units that's got a little bit more organization. The rest of them not so much. And then we've got Sokolovsky. Okay. Good name. And yeah, we're retaking Pinsk. Desperately want to finish breaking over this bloody river. If we can establish a bridgehead here, as well as where we are up in the north, all of this will work in our advantage. Development and encirclement penalties. And the whole map. So there's like huge amounts of forts here. That's what's doing that. Won the battle at Pinsk. Okay, and the 9th Panzer. One of the only units that's actually got organisation. So, read into that what you will. Okay, move on up, please. Finish the job in this large pocket. I want to see it finished. And that's just Brest-Litovsk. So this looks like it's going well now, because none of these are top line divisions. So once we break in there, and we've reinforced elsewhere, we should be in a good spot. See that we're finishing the job elsewhere. Provide a little bit of support there, please. So 33 units. 36. Finish moving into Pinsk. Good. That's what we like. Get them forwards. Provide a little bit of extra support there. That's just the 50th Infantry Division that's holding that back. And the rather ugly German stain has nearly been completely wiped out. Oh. Well, hello there, counterattack. That's one thing I didn't notice. It's a good job we have an absolute shed ton of units in the area with which to consider trying to hold it. Okay. Well then. Germany's got teeth. They must have gone through our centre? I don't know. They must have attacked into here and knocked them back one? Very interesting. Well, we've got units. We can plug the gap. That'll be fine. Let's move you into here. And let's take all of these and go into that area there. We need to reorganize our front line, I think, soon. And those don't look anywhere near as strong as some of the others. All those units just don't have any actual reinforcement chance. They do. There's two at the bottom that do, but very minor. And Mironov, yeah, sure. Let's get you and you to go in there. Definitely taking some stomach-churning losses in these last battles, but also starting now to get some pretty solid victories. So yeah, their units running out of options. Okay, that's them dealt with. And the main source of resistance now is on this kind of area here, actually. Just managed to sort out where we have that gap in our line. Corpo International, not bad. Everyone's doing very well. Like, you know, we've turned the Soviet army into a bit of a powerhouse after initially looking, well, a little bit janky. Let's put it that way. Okay, and I can see that we've just finished another massive encirclement. And what are you looking like? Oh, I can see that, yeah, there goes another Panzer division. And Zhukov doing the business. Let's take you up from over there. I desperately want to knock them through here. So these two provinces are being a real pain, to be honest. And it would be lovely if they would finish their attempted attacks. Because organisationally, these battles don't favour them. One left there. God. Are you done? There's a single infantry division there. You and we're going to attack there. We're going to teach them that a counterattack towards Kiev is not allowed. Oh, spearheaded by some Marder 1s. And a Panzer unit. That's rather interesting. Right, so take a little bit more out of there. Chuck a little bit more into officers. Small air search radar. At 45, well, we can take that away. Okay. Absolute madness. Attempting a breakout, but they don't have any major kind of supplies. Voronov. Please finish the job. Like, all of you. It must be done by now, surely. Volosky. It's not bad. Could be good to do something like this actually, and surround these areas, but it's a timing thing. Let's just make sure we win that. We have done. And yeah, there's more chance of pigs flying than us winning that battle. That is shocking. We are winning over here. And then just want to see the end of the road here. See that that unit's broken now, which is good. How are you looking? You'll get in there. And if we could bag ourselves what looks like another 11 divisions, that would be, hey, that would be sizable. We assume that there's about, it's another 100,000 if we were able to get those in there. That's pretty good. That's a good haul. You can see that there's like a reserve that constantly kind of joins and then leaves. you win yet? When did you get there? Ah. At 9th Panzer. And the 16th and the 19th Panzer divisions. Any others? Yeah, a couple more. That's not bad. It's a good hunt. So it's number 7. Oh, I can see one Italian division that has organisation. 12 units in reserve here. These have all had it. So it's down to a few organised remnants to hold this back. Do we think they'll be around at Christmas? Let's get Zukov involved. He can lead this grand final encirclement. It was spearheaded by Modal, so it might have been an attack to try and get to their beleaguered forces. I mean, it might have been. I think it's highly unlikely, but it might have been. We've got 19 units in reserve. And we're throwing every available gun that we have at them now. Orski's using a masterful breakthrough against an advanced defend. I mean, good luck. So combined arms defense, which is countering that mechanized, that one there. Okay, and yeah, our production queue is slowly coming down. We're now positive on all of those. And I do think it is honestly only the 9th Panzer Division and its small amount of organisation. Let's just kick the bucket. So there's one single Italian division which is holding things back. I can see 60 units at the moment that we've caught. Now that's a grand total of 1 million men nearly. 760,000 in there. Probably close to 800,000 when you factor them in. Which is pretty unbelievable. And that development bonus is going to help us a lot. Okay, so we're immediately going to attack with you. There are some supply problems, but now things are going to go very much in our way. And then, as I say, if we can surround Brest-Litovsk, we'll have got ourselves 4 divisions there, and then a further kind of 4, 8, 5, so another 13 there, so 17 divisions on top of the 66 there, so nearly 80 units wiped out. That's hard for any army to come back from, let alone a slightly shell-shocked German army. What have we got? So when we get onto like the militia units, they won't fight anywhere near as effectively. Leader skill's got a big part to play in these battles now. we're slowly taking modal out of the equation. Can any of these reinforce? Simple answer. Looks like no. So by the power of one decent infantry division, are they being kept in place? So 66 divisions. That is the final haul. Not bad. Not bad at all. See, we're just starting to break down this little bit of defense here. Okay. And Modal's a better commander than Orbin, but that 3rd Panzer Division has been a thorn in our side for quite a long time, and I would rather that it heaved off, to be honest. We're nearly at the point where we've consolidated our line. We want to consider maybe a movement here, and then a movement into Germany proper as well with the same offensive. Come on, kick them out. Finish the damn job. Seriously. Like... I mean, that's not exactly very good, is it? You know, you're the better commander and yet your tactics are crap. Okay, so there goes attrition fight. That gives us some major bonuses. With these units kind of in position, there comes a question mark of what we're going to do. Okay, there goes the Bismarck. Bismarck and Scharnhorst have gotten sunk recently, so that's an indicator that the naval war is probably going in our favour, which is good. See that Modal is finally getting pushed back. And then we have Mutch and Clamp. So the Germans... Normally by this point in the campaign, with these amount of losses, Germany has kind of fully capitulated. I wouldn't say that they've quite done that this time round. Like, they've still got units. And there goes Tirpitz. Okay. So there was some sort of major naval engagement that resulted in the loss of pretty much all the German capital ships. You know what? Rather oddly, Italy is pushing back the Americans. What the fuck? I'm doing all of this good work around here, and the AI can't even sort out Italy. I mean, seriously. Are you doing okay there? We are beating that little attack back. I see that some of our reactor work has just finished up. So we can immediately get onto that. Because we've had a reactor now for quite a while in Kubishayev. And we're on to atom bombs. That'd be a good way to end the war if we do push it forwards. Do like a push like this and like that. That's good. Make it more kind of for us. Okay, the last one's a random infantry division which has got damage bonus decreases, night modifier, a lack of supplies. And the last unit that's holding that onslaught of the Red Army at bay. And I can see that those militia units are struggling. So let's get them in. Let's get our units together. Are you any good? No, both of those. Like, actually, this unit's much better than this one. Oh, and Charles Edward, Duke of Saxon, whatever, is leading that one. That's a fun one. And they'll melt pretty quickly once we they get into proper combat. I'm going to take Pavlov and his units. I'm going to get them involved as well. There goes Nelson. So it looks like there was a big German-British like battleship engagement, and the Brits came out resoundingly on top, which is good. This is what we want. State and volunteers, can they please vacate themselves? There we go. It just broke. And I imagine now that these guys are facing the full force of enemy units, they're going to disintegrate. It does look like they are. Zhukov's not got long now until he's dealt with that. His final great victory in the Battle of Sarny. Get yourself a Sarny down at Sarny. Alright, under 50% strength coming up now. I'm going to move some of our tanks and things actually over because I see that we're struggling to hold this one a little bit. Shilov is disappointing me. And the last thing you want to do is disappoint the head of the Soviet Union. That's a recipe for disaster. Let's attach you in. Alright, you're going to get there on the 12th. Okay. So, if I wanted instead to move, like... let's get them in. You don't have the ability to get in, apparently. How long is it going to take you to get there? for 12 still. So I would wager they're definitely going to beat us in, which is really frustrating because we nearly finished that one. And that would have been a nice way to bookend the episode. Is with the end of these units here and the encirclement of these here. th Panzer Grenadiers attacking. See a single Bulgarian unit. Just melted. Right, come on, you got this. 12. Go for it. Go, 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 go. Let's move up some of our motorized units in this direction as well, to keep lending a hand. Fedorenko did manage to finish that victory. And 12, and there we go. We've just seen all of these units break. I mean, wowza. It's kind of a beautiful sight to behold, which frees up a lot of divisions to help aid with stupid encirclements like this one. And stupid attacks or breakout attempts like that one over there. Really poor. Now, I am a little bit unsure on where the best next kind of place to attack is. You know, I can see that there's a couple of different kind of areas that would maybe look pretty useful. Chuikov's nearly level 9, which is kind of cool. You can see that happening at the moment. Oh, stupid bloody police division. Come on, Pavlov. Right, I think I'm going to call it an episode here. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. In the next episode of Hearts of Iron 3, we might jump ahead a little bit because, to be honest with you, I'm just going to be consolidating my front, I think, now, because broadly we're along a river position. We're just trying to get this so that we can sort out over here. Same thing in this part of the world, but broadly we've got a relatively good defensive position now, and now it's just going to be a case of holding it. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Thanks again. Bye-bye.